Hola amigos y amigas, you are now with Jocelyn y como siempre, I'm so grateful you are here. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back, and if you are new here, welcome as well. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you and guiding you through 8 journaling prompts directly inspired by the energetic themes surrounding the upcoming full moon in Aries taking place on September 29th. Now, I believe this is actually the last super full moon of the year. And this is the last full moon before we officially step into eclipse season, which I wouldn't be surprised you're already feeling the energy of. So we're definitely going to be gaining clarity on the energies and the themes surrounding this Aries full moon, as well as the eclipse season, the upcoming eclipse season. I'm definitely feeling and sensing that this full moon is bringing up a lot of shadow work for each and every single one of us. So these journaling prompts are really intending to guide you through that shadow work in a very encouraging and open and vulnerable and hopefully softening way. So I definitely encourage you to create a safe space for yourself as you journal through these prompts. You don't have to do every single prompt, of course. I definitely encourage you to journal the prompts that really resonate with you and call to you. But I'm so honored you're here. Thank you so much for opening yourself up to receive these prompts. Now let's go ahead and get into them. What emotions have my recent discomforts brought forth to my attention? Now, one, I know that many of us have been growing through discomfort lately. And two, I also know that these discomforts have been bringing forth certain emotions, certain triggers, certain lessons for each and every single one of us as well. So what are these emotions for you that are specifically being brought forth by the discomforts that you may be experiencing? Now, I love this prompt because it gives us clarity on the discomforts that we feel we're experiencing, right? It gives us the opportunity to really acknowledge them and validate them and see them on paper. But it's also gifting us the opportunity to really come to a deeper understanding of what these what feelings and emotions these discomforts are bringing forth to our attention. And I really encourage you to take this prompt a step further and ask yourself why. Get curious as to why certain discomforts in your life are bringing forth certain emotions to your attention. Which emotions have I been learning from lately, and what have I been learning? Now, this second prompt is definitely gifting us the opportunity to expand much further on the first prompt. So if you journaled the first prompt, highly encourage you to journal this second prompt. But y'all, emotions, feelings are such sacred, powerful teachers. And every single emotion that we experience in our human experience is here to teach us something very important. Emotions really gift us clarity on what our needs are, what our desires are, what it is that we care about, how it is that we react to certain experiences in our lives and situations. So what emotions have really been taking the center stage of your life lately in this season? And what have you been learning from them, right? Let's really position the emotions that we've been learning from lately as teachers right now. And let's affirm the lessons that we've been learning from these emotions. That we've really, that again, as mentioned in the first prompt, have really been brought forth to our attention. So what are these emotions that you've been learning from? And even more specifically, what exactly have you been learning from these emotions? How has seeing things for what they are and not what I want them to be actually been helpful? Now, humans have this tendency of seeing things the way they want to see them and not seeing them for what they actually are, right? And we become so attached to seeing things the way we want to see them, so much so that we become avoidant, we become resistant to actually seeing things the way that they are right now. And as time passes and we hold on to this illusion, we hold on to the way that we want to see things, it ends up causing disruption in our lives. It ends up stagnating our lives. Things start to fall apart, right? And I know that as of lately, so many have been feeling called to, some have even been feeling forced to finally see things the way that they are and not the way that they want to see them or prefer to see them, right? Now, this has nothing to do with us visioning a better life for ourselves. And it has more so to do with the tendency to be avoidant, the tendency to be resistant to the present moment out of fear. And this can only go on for so long, right? And it really teaches us to practice radical acceptance, which I know so many of us are being taught right now, if not all of us. So how has seeing things for what they are and not for what you want them to be, how has that actually been helpful for you? Because I know that when we actually start practicing radical acceptance and when we actually start seeing things for what they are and not for what we want them to be, yes, although it may be uncomfortable, yes, although it may bring forth some grief, yes, although it may really be hard, we do end up gaining clarity and we do end up arriving to solutions and we do end up realizing that it's actually very helpful and a very mature thing to do. So I am encouraging all of you who really resonate with this to dive into this and to keep it real with yourself and to also be proud of yourself for being courageous enough to surrender to the present moment and practice radical acceptance and be joyful, right? That you have come to the realization that, wow, seeing things for what they are is actually really helpful, and being fear-based and being avoidant and being resistant to the present moment actually has done me a disservice. And this is just such an important lesson for us to learn. So I love this prompt, maybe my favorite of all of these that I'm sharing with you. How have recent triggers inspired necessary movements and initiations? Certain triggers arise with the intention to create movement in our life and to initiate certain endings and beginnings in our life. And this is a gift, right? This is an opportunity to really welcome those endings and those beginnings through these triggers that arise. And I believe it's important for us to really observe this when it is happening, to acknowledge this when it is happening, so that one, we feel like we have clarity as to one, why certain triggers are arising, and two, how certain triggers are catalysts in certain movements and initiations in our lives. So let's gain this clarity through this prompt, right? What are the triggers that may have come up for you recently, that you may be experiencing currently, that you have seen has brought forth movement in your life, has brought forth certain initiations? I encourage you to be as detailed and specific as possible in journaling what exactly these movements are, what exactly these initiations have been, from which exactly triggers, right? From, like what is the root, right? What is the root of the movement? What is the root of the initiation? And the root being the trigger, right? So what is the trigger that caused this specific movement? What is the specific trigger that caused this specific initiation in your life? What has felt important to maturely think through before taking action on? There are certain actions that it's so important for us to really realize are life-changing, like really, really life-changing. Certain actions that lead us in one direction and lead us in a completely other direction. Certain actions that bring forth a certain effect and actions that bring forth a completely different effect. Are the actions that we're taking fully in alignment with our intentions, right? Are the actions that we're taking, that we're choosing to take, in alignment with the solutions that we're calling forth in our lives? What has felt important to you to maturely contemplate, right? To really sit with and think about before taking action on? What choices have you felt really needed you to sit down and reflect, right? And think of all the pros and cons and really weigh your options, right? What have these possibilities been for you, right? What have these choices been for you? What have these actions that you may take been for you that really have been inspiring you to maturely think about, to maturely contemplate, to maturely sit with, and not be so quick to take action on, right? What have these, again, what exactly have these actions, potential actions and possibilities and choices been for you lately? Does what I am moving towards feel in alignment with what's for my highest good? Why? This prompt is inspired by the last prompt, again, with that intentionality of really thinking things through and taking a moment to really observe whether or not the direction we're headed towards, the choices we're making, are in alignment with what's for our highest good, are in alignment with, again, the solutions that we're calling forth in our life, are in alignment with our needs and true desires. And I specifically, said in alignment with what's for our highest good, because sometimes what's for our highest good isn't always what we want, right? And I think a lot of us are experiencing that right now. Is like, I know that this is what's for my highest good. It's not really ideal. It's not really what I want, but I know that it's what I need. And I know that it is in alignment with what's for my highest good. And it is in alignment with bringing forth the solutions that I need and desire. So that's why, again, I specifically said, in alignment with what's for my highest good? Because sometimes we just have to think about it in that way, right? Really just think about, yes, it's so important to acknowledge what our desires are. Yes, it's so important to acknowledge what our dreams are, right? But sometimes, again, because I feel like there is this very back to reality, grounding in our humanness, really coming into practicality with certain aspects of our lives, sometimes we just have to focus on what is for my highest good right now, right? What is actually most supportive right now? Again, I feel like this is also in tune with that calling of really seeing things for what they are. So all of this said, what has felt, does what you're moving towards, right? Does what you're investing your time and energy in feel in alignment with what's for your highest good, and why? What is currently making me stronger, and what is currently making me softer? I've been thinking about how this has really been a season where certain things have really really required my strength, right? Have really been highlighting my strength. And other things, other situations, other experiences have really been bringing out my softness, right? And requiring my softness. And I just feel like this is a really beautiful duality that all of us are experiencing, and many of us very consciously so. And I just want to make this even more conscious by journaling it, right? What has currently been making you stronger? What has been really highlighting your strength? And also, what has really been making you softer? What has been really highlighting your softness lately? What has been helping me rise above my external circumstances and remember my divinity? There, with all the energies and themes that have been brought forth and talked about through the last 7 prompts that I offered you, there is a lot of just humanness, right? And the tenderness that comes with being human, and the challenges that come with being human, and the toughness and the softness and all of it, right? In the midst of it all, there's been this necessity of rising above it, right? Rising above our external circumstances and remembering who we truly are and whose we are, right? Remembering our divinity, our power, our beauty, that's not dependent on anything, right? We just are. We simply are worthy because we are. We simply are beautiful because we are. We simply are well because we are. We simply are powerful because we are. They are unconditional, right? And it's been so important for us to remember this while we grow through everything that we've been growing through in our humanness. So what's been helping you remain centered through it all? What's been helping you rise above your external circumstances and not be overpowered by them, not be overly attached to them, not be identified with them, right? What has been helping you rise above and remember your divinity? And that, my friends, are the 8 journal prompts for this upcoming Aries full moon taking place on September 29th, which again is the last super full moon of the year and the last lunation, the last full moon before we officially step into eclipse season. I pray that these journaling prompts really assist you in gaining clarity and comfort and confidence as you work through your shadows, as you continue to expand through your humanness. And I really am so honored to have been brought into your present moment. I'd love to know which of these prompts really resonated with you in the comment section below. I look forward to connecting with some of you there. If you're not already subscribed, make sure to click subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my weekly videos and you join in on this beautiful community. And I pray that you feel proud of yourself. I pray that you're moving forward and moving onward and upward and Godward with self-compassion and lots of grace during these times. And I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye.